Okay, students, today we are starting refraction through lens. Now we'll just talk about two types of lens that we know. They are convex lens and concave lens. Convex lens are generally they are known as convergent lens, and concave lens are known as divergent lens. Why? Because in a convex lens, when light passes through the convex lens, they converges in this way. Okay, so they converges. And in case of divergent lens, means concave lens, when ray of light passes through them, after refraction they diverge like this, they scatter. Okay, they scatter like this. Now this we can understand the action of convex lens and the concave lens by a combination of prism, by imagining them as a combination of prism and a glass slab. If you see here this convex lens, we can think in this way. Just imagine in these three parts, and you can see this upper part is a prism. Okay, this is a glass slab and this is a prism, and in this case also you can see this upper part is a prism, this is a glass slab, and this is another prism. Now we know that a ray of light incident on a prism, on refraction through it, always bends towards the base of the prism. If you remember, if you have done the refraction of light through a glass prism, if you remember that when ray of light was incidenting on a prism, this is the normal, they are bending towards the normal, means they are bending towards the base. You can understand? So this ray of light, instead of going in this path, it is bending in this path, and that means it is bending towards the base. So if the prism goes like this, okay, so then if the ray of light falls like this, then it will bend towards the base of the prism. So base. So here also we can understand that if you see ray A, after refraction it will bend towards the base, so it will bend like this. Similarly ray C, after refraction, again this will also bend towards the base, so base is upward here, so it will bend like this. Here the base is downward, so it is bending in the downward direction. And if you see, this is a parallel glass slab. So in a glass slab, if a ray of light is falling normally, means 90 degree, it generally goes undeviated, so it goes, okay, so it will go straight. Understand? So this is the action of a convex lens. In this case also you can understand that ray of light from A, this ray A, it will bend towards the base. Here the base is upward, so it will bend in the upward direction. If you see here the base is downward, so it will bend in the downward direction. And this is again a glass slab, and so it will go straight. So this is the action of convex lens and a concave lens. They are convergent action, and means they are divergent action. So we can explain by the help of a combination of prism and a glass slab. Okay. Okay, now we'll talk about some technical terms related to lens. Now the center of curvature. So center of curvature of a convex lens, center of curvature of a concave lens. In fact, we can imagine this convex lens and a concave lens, they are a part of a sphere. Okay, sphere, a ball. So center of curvature actually means the center of the sphere of which the lens is a part. So if you see, this is a convex lens, so if you see this surface, so it's a spherical surface, so we can imagine that this is a part of a sphere, okay, like this. So naturally this sphere is a center, so this is one center of curvature, And again, if you see this surface, this is the center of, this is also a part of another sphere like this, okay, and the center of that sphere, imaginary sphere, this is another center of curvature. So we can say, so this is the two center of curvature of this lens. So that is the center of curvature. Okay. Now in this case also we'll find center of curvature. Say this is the sphere, and so this is the center of curvature, and this is another sphere. Okay, like this. So naturally it is the another center of curvature. So we can say it is the two center of curvature. So in case of a concave lens and a convex lens, we can say there are two center of curvatures like this. So center of curvature we can define as the center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part, and that is the center of curvature. Now similarly, radius of curvature is the radius of the sphere. So again, this is the sphere, this is the center, so this will be the radius. So this is one radius of curvature, and from here to here, you can understand, from here to here, that is another radius of curvature. So simply radius of curvature means it is a radius of the sphere of which the lens is a part. So that is the radius of curvature. Okay. Next is the principal axis. The principal axis is the imaginary line passing through the two center of curvature. So this is the, you can say this is the principal axis. So it is the imaginary line passing through the two center of curvature. So that is the principal axis. Next is optical center. Now optical center is the center of the lens, which is situated on the principal axis. So this is the optical center here, and this is the optical center, such that when light passes through the optical center, it passes undeviated. Okay, it passes undeviated. Wherever it passes undeviated. So here also, if light passes, it passes undeviated through the optical center. So this is the optical center. Okay. Okay. Next is principal foci. In fact, foci is the plural of focus. Now in this concave lens and a convex lens, we generally mention two focus. So we say as first focus and second focus, and their definition is different for a concave lens and a different for a convex lens. Okay. So first we'll see about convex lens. What is first focus and second focus? Now first focus is a point on the principal axis. Okay, first focus, this is first focus of a convex lens. First focus of a convex lens is a point on principal axis, such that after refraction through the lens, they become parallel. Okay, so that means it is such a point such that after passing through the lens, the ray of light becomes parallel with the principal axis. So if the light starts from here, and if the ray of light falls on the lens, and after passing through the lens, they become parallel. So like this, they become parallel. Okay, so any ray of light passing from anywhere like this, they all will become parallel. Okay, if they start from this point, so that is called the first focus. Okay. Now second focus. So that is the first focus we have seen. First focus. So we can say first focus is a point such that if light starts from there, after passing through the lens, become parallel. Now what is second focus? Second focus of second focus of a convex lens. You can say second focus, the definition is just reverse. So this is the center of curvature, this is the optical center. Second focus means कि if rays of light falls parallel to the principal axis, they meet at a particular point on the principal axis, and that is called second focus. So you can understand it is just the reverse of the first focus. It is just the reverse of the first focus. So this is the second focus of a convex lens. So that means what is second focus? That if parallel rays of light passes through a convex lens, after refraction they meet at a particular point, and that is called second focus. And generally, you have to remember it. For convex or concave I will tell you now, I'll explain you. When we say focus generally means second focus. Okay, so when you talk about the focus, generally if nothing is mentioned, whether it's a first focus or second focus, if they mention only focus, so only focus generally means we are talking about second focus. So understand, so that is the first focus of convex lens, and first focus and second focus of convex lens. Okay, understand? Okay, now we'll see the first focus and second focus of a concave lens. So this is the principal axis. Now in case of a concave lens, ray of light after refraction, so any ray of lights after refraction there and becoming parallel to the principal axis, so imagine the ray of light, okay, again I am explaining you. You see the ray of light should incident in concave lens in such a way such that after refraction they are becoming parallel, and they appear to be meeting at a point, because if anybody looks from here, according to this observer, this ray of light will be appear to be meeting at this point. So if anybody looks from here, that this ray of light will be appear to be meeting at this point. So that is called the first focus. Okay, again I am repeating that first focus is a point in such that in case of a concave lens, the ray of light after refraction becoming parallel and appears to be meeting at a particular point, so that means this ray of light is actually diverging in this way. But from here, if anybody looks, according to them, the light looks to meet at this point. So that is called the first focus of a concave lens. Okay, the first focus of a concave lens. Okay. Now the second focus. Second focus is again just the reverse of this. Okay, so now in this case also, the second focus means if parallel rays of light, okay, if parallel rays of light means parallel to the principal axis, they passes through the lens, they diverge, okay, they diverge in such a way such that they appear to be coming from a point. So that means if anybody looks from here, according to them, this ray of light will appear to be coming from this point. So that is called second focus. So the parallel rays of light after refraction appears to be coming from this point. So if anybody looks from here, although the ray of light is actually passing like this and they are diverging, but according to this observer here, this ray of light will appear to be coming from this point. So that is called second focus. Okay, again in this case also, if I say only focus, so that means generally we are talking about the second focus, means this side, this focus. So that is called the second focus. Now next you can see focal length, the first focal length, second focal length. So focal length means it is the distance between the focus and the optical center. So this distance, this length is called focal length. So first focal length, second focal length, same definition for convex lens and convex lens. It is just the distance from the first focus to the optical center. So that is the first focal length, and distance of the second focus to the optical center, that is the second focal length. Okay, and focal plane. Okay, the plane passing through the focus is called focal plane. So you can understand, if this is the focus, then this plane, okay, this full plane, that's not normal to the principal axis. So this imaginary plane, this is called focal plane. So that means I can say this point is on the focal plane, 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 and this is the focus. So this plane is called the focal plane. So same for first focal plane, second focal plane, so all. So the imaginary plane passing through the focus, that is called the focal plane. Okay. Okay, now we'll start construction of ray diagrams. Now the first is that when the object is at infinity, that means it is at very far distance. Now first we'll draw the principal axis, and then we'll draw perpendicular, that's the axis of the lens. Okay, and then we'll mark this one as O, and then we'll mark the focuses. First focus, second focus. Now for that what we do, now we take equal distance. Okay, the distance should be equal. So what I advise my student, I ask them to just measure 2 centimeters. So according to your paper, so if you take 2 centimeter distance and mark, okay, that one as F1, and then from here you take another 2 centimeters, so that is double of F1, so we write 2F1. Similarly from here also you take a 2 centimeter distance, and that will be F2, and again from here another 2 centimeter, that will be 2F2. Okay, so 2 centimeter is not necessary, but according to your paper, size of the paper, we have seen 2 centimeter is better. You can take 3 centimeter or 4 centimeter also if you have a bigger size of paper, no problem. And then you should complete the background of the lens like this. So this become convex lens. And then they told when the object is at infinity, that means it is as very far. So for that we can show two type of diagram. If the object is in fact exactly in front of the lens but very far, or say means the ray of light it's falling parallel in straight like this. Okay, like this, then you can simply, if you go through the definition of focus, that if parallel rays of light falls, they will meet at focus. So the diagram will be like this. So you can say this is the object here which is very far, we can't see that object, and this is the image. Okay, now in this case, so we can say object at infinity, and this is the image will be at focus. So so we can say position of object is object at infinity and position of image is at focus. And characteristics of the image, you can see it is real image. Always if the object is at one side and the image is in the opposite side, so that means it is a real image. So it is a real image. And in case of a convex lens, always remember it is always an inverted image and diminished image. Okay. Now this is one type of object at infinity. I can show it in another way. Okay, now in this case, this application where we use this. Okay, so application is that, you know, burning of a paper from sunlight. You know, by this method we can burn a paper from sunlight. You know, imagine the sun rays of light are passing through the convex lens and they are meeting at the focus. Okay, now if I keep a piece of paper here, now since this ray of light, they are concentrating at one point, so here a lot of heat is produced. That, you know, that scattered sun rays, the scattered sun rays is actually concentrated at a particular point, and therefore intense heat is produced, and therefore the paper start burning. Okay, so burning of paper. So this is one aspect, one position, that object at infinity. But another way we can also show in this way. Again, all this focus and all this will draw f1 to f1, f2 and 2f2. Now the object may be obliquely here or here. Okay, so but at infinity. So this is optical center. So always remember the image will be at focus. Okay, so the image will be like this. Now first we draw the ray diagram. One ray diagram will pass through this optical center and straight. Okay, so another ray we can take from the focus, and after passing through focus become parallel. So like this, and then passing through become parallel, and the image will be exactly at the focus. So you should adjust the diagram in a proper way. Use ruler and pencil properly. So by little bit adjustment you can make this diagram. And here the application, now this is application here in the camera, photographic camera. In a photographic camera, you know, when the object is very far, so that means distance are very far, there is a hill or a river which you are clicking. So that very far distance, thus entering through the camera lens, and it is falling on the, you know, on the camera screen, the camera film, and getting the image. So this application is photographic camera. Okay, so this is the first ray diagram, and this is when the object is at infinity. Okay, next is when the object is beyond 2f. So again, you have to draw this as I have told you before. Now beyond 2f means it's not very far, just like the number 1 I told at infinity. At infinity means it is very far, and beyond 2f is just double of focus. Okay, so this is O. So beyond 2f, so you draw an object. Now what I suggest my student, I always say you just use your single line of your copy and take that distance. Either you take one line, gap of one line, or you can take gap of two line if you are drawing it a bigger lens. Okay, so just use your single line part of your copy, because in examination you get a single line answer script, so you can use this so that while drawing the line you don't have any problem. Okay, so this is the object, so we'll mark this one as AB. Now what is the rule? The rule is that first you draw a line parallel to the principal axis. So draw a line parallel to the principal axis. So you should do as much, means as accurately as possible. Okay, so pencil should be sharp and everything proper, so don't do mistakes, so otherwise there will be a problem. So first parallel rays of light, and then it will pass through focus. Okay, you know that. So this is the first rule, parallel to principal axis, passing through focus. And the second rule is passing through optical center undeviated. Passing through optical center undeviated. Okay, like this, straight. So passing through optical center, undeviated straight. So if you do your ray diagram accurately, then you will get the accurate position. So this is the position of the image. So draw the image, and wherever the ray of light meet, that will be the head of the image. So this is the arrowhead. So the image will be like this. Okay, so this is A dash and this is B dash. Okay, and after the diagram you should mention the position of object, then position of image, and then characteristics of image. So position of object, that will be given in your question, that is here beyond 2f. Position of image, between f and 2f. So in this case you don't have to write f1 and 2f1 or f2, because you can understand actually f1 and f2 the position is always same. If the medium is same, if the medium at this part and the medium at this part is same, so generally it is same. It is air here also, air there also. So in that case, this focuses their position, all these lengths are same. So it's not necessary to write f1 and beyond f1 or f2. So you can just simply write f. Okay. So that's between f and 2f, the image. And characteristic, you can understand, the first thing is that it is real. Second, it is inverted. And then you can understand the size of the image will be smaller. So when you use a scale and pencil properly, so you will get exactly, and you can compare the size of the object and the image, and then you can, according to that, you can write whether it's a magnified image or a diminished image or same size. Now in this case it will be a diminished image. Okay, in this case it is a diminished image. Okay. Now here also the application. The application is photographic camera, again here also. So in a photographic camera, when the object is a little bit far but not very far, so it's in front of a camera, so the image falls between f and 2f. Okay, so this is object beyond 2f. Okay. Now at 2f, and the object is at 2f, again same, but you remember that when the object is at 2f, the image will also be at 2f. So you should do it accurately, otherwise you may have some problem. And if you have some problem also, you should at the last you should adjust that point. Okay, so according to you. So what, again the same rule, straight, and then it will pass through focus, right? And always remember, don't forget to give this arrow on the rays, otherwise you'll get 0. So what I advise my student, as soon as you draw the line, you just put the arrow during that time only. Okay, don't keep it for the last. At last you may forget. The next is that passing through optical center, and it will cut here, and I told you that the image will be at 2f. So object at 2f, image will be at 2f. Okay, object at 2f, image is at 2f. Understand? So yeah, you'll get a same size image. So what is the position? You can understand, position of the object is at 2f. Position of the image is also at 2f. Okay, position of the image is also at 2f. You can see properly. And then uh, uh, same size, the size of the image is also same size, and then characteristics will be what? Characteristics will be real, inverted, okay, and same size. In fact, real, inverted, and same size. Okay, and the application here is that it is used in a special type of telescope, the terrestrial telescope. And you know, in this, what happens that in a terrestrial telescope, the inverted object, is erected. Here you can see that this object gets reversed, means inverted, and there is no difference in size. The size remains same. So if an image is inverted, then with this arrangement the image becomes erect. So that is the application. Okay. Okay, next, between 2f and f1 I am not explaining, so you can understand. Similarly, in all diagram you can find same. Now we'll see at focus. At focus also you can understand, say parallel rays of light, and it will pass through this focus. Okay, understand? So it will pass through this focus straight, and then next one, optical center. So when the ray of light passing through optical center, you will find that these two ray of light is never meeting. So that means it is at infinity. Understand? So position of the object is at focus, and the position of image is at infinity. And the characteristics is again real, inverted, and it's highly magnified. Okay, because the image is at infinity, so the image is naturally very big, so highly magnified. And what is the use of this? Use of this, to obtain a parallel beam of light. So if we keep our the source of light at focus or at the focal plane, the ray of light will become parallel. So it is generally used in a spectrometer. Spectrometer is a device which is used for obtaining spectrum, so that is used there. So it is used for producing a parallel beam of light, so that is at focus. Okay. Now next is between focus and optical center. Okay, focus and pole. So if the object is placed between focus and pole, then here also parallel rays of light, then passing through focus, and then passing through optical center. And you can understand these two rays of light are not meeting here because they are scattering, they are diverging here, so they can't meet. But this ray of light will meet backward, so it will meet backward like this. So like this it will meet, and then we will draw the image. And now this is a virtual image, because I told you, if the object and image is on the other side, okay, object on this side and image on other side, so that is a real image. But if the object and image is on the same side, that's a virtual image. And virtual image is always dotted. Okay, so if you don't give dotted, again marks will be deducted. So this is, you can see, so here you can see the characteristic of the image is virtual, erect, and magnified, okay. So that means what is the application? Convex lens can be used as a simple hand lens, for magnifying glass. Okay, magnifying lens, or means it is also used as in microscope. Okay, so that is in a simple microscope it is used as a magnifying lens. So that is the application of this position. Okay. Okay, now construction of ray diagram in a concave lens. Concave lens, it is very easy because at every position the image formed in a concave lens is always at same, means they form always position of object. If I write position of object, that I can write anywhere in front of lens. Okay, so that means it can be anywhere. It can be here, 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 it can be here. Okay. So anywhere in front of the lens except infinity. Okay, infinity the object will be at focus. Okay, that will tell you. But here position of object anywhere in front of lens, anywhere. The position of image, the position of image is always, the position of image is always between F and O, means between focus and optical center. So between focus and pole or focus and optical center, the image will be always there. And characteristics. Now characteristics is always, it is virtual, it will be erect, and it will be diminished, means smaller. Okay, so you can see, so if I put anywhere in the object, suppose the object is here, then the rule is that parallel rays of light, and this is a divergent lens, so it will diverge in this way, and it will diverge in such a way such that it appears to be coming from focus. So what we do, you just do a parallel rays of light parallel to principal axis. Now it will diverge such that it appears to coming from focus. So what we will do, from here you draw a straight line, dotted line with scale to this point, and then you extend that like this. Understand? So this is the way. And the second is, it will directly passes through optical center and go straight. So straight through optical center, and you see where the position of the image. So image is here, means image is here. So it will be okay. So dotted. So try to make it dotted. So I always advise draw a bigger diagram so that you don't have any problem. So this is A dash and B dash. So you can understand this is the image. And now you see, I have already written from before the drawing, because I know the image will be between focus and pole, and the image will be virtual, image is erect, and image is diminished. So if you keep the object here, then also you can find that there will be no such difference, only a little bit of shift here and there, but always the object will be between focus and pole. Okay, so this is the first part of lens is finished. So this is the diagram. In the second part, I will explain you some numericals of related with lens. Okay.